We're on.
Hey everybody, happy Sunday. Welcome into the studio. I'm Jessica Putnam-Phillips. We are going to be doing the kiln opening today. This, actually, I was thinking about it. It's like, when did I do a kiln opening last? And would you believe, I could have you guess, but would you believe the last kiln opening I did was, well, it was last year, right? Because we have to make that joke, but it was Halloween. I'm not kidding. Halloween. Hey Drew, hi Jennifer, hi everybody tuning in. Hope you're having an amazing Sunday. So in this kiln is a couple pieces for future classes. One for a class that's coming out next week. The other's coming out in a couple weeks. Some glazes of mine that you can get from Clayscapes Pottery, and some Mako glazes, some Amico glaze, and I think that's all. And some Georgie's is in here. So hi everybody. And everyone else is joining in. Hi. I know it's been a hot minute since my last kiln opening. I've been busy, you know. So let's do it now. Oh, Lee's here. Let's give a super huge welcome to Lee. Lee, I can't wait to watch the Great Pottery Throwdown tonight. So if you all don't know, Lee, who's here, is one of our Clayshare members who has learned to make pottery from me, and he is one of the contestants on the 2020 season of the Great Pottery Throwdown. 2021 season of the Great Pottery Throwdown. So it does air tonight in the US on HBO Max. Don't know if it's the current season or past. I'll be watching just the same. And if Lee's not on there, I'll still enjoy myself. But if he is, I'm cheering him on. So good luck, Lee. We're all Team Lee here. Okay, let's open this up. This kiln fired to cone 5. I have a 35-degree cone offset on my kiln because my kiln fires too hot. So that means when we look at the controller and I look at the top temp, we'll say I got to 2134, not 2167 like cone 5 is. That's okay. We have cone packs in here so we can check it, but I guarantee I got to cone 5. I can promise. Diane got HBO Max just for the show because she's obsessed. I know, that's my Sunday night plan now. That's what I'm doing on Sundays. All right, so this kiln is an L&L E23T3 3-inch brick, so it's very insulated. It is much more energy efficient than one that doesn't have 3-inch brick, and it takes a long time to cool. This fired Friday night, was finished about 8 a.m. yesterday, has been cooling since then. Just no fan, just naturally cooling all on its own. It's still at about 131. That's a little hot. I really like it to come down a tiny bit more, but that's fine. It'll be good. Everything will cool down. Actually, when I checked my app, I can see that the bottom is about 117 and the top's hotter because heat rises. So we're not so worried about the big giant bowl. It's on the bottom, so now you know it's on the bottom. All right, let's look at the cone pack. This will also be on YouTube. Yes, it will. It is actually, it is on YouTube. It's on YouTube right now. So here's my cone pack. We just made these the other week when we gave away the cone pack 6 packs. And this is cone 6, cone 5, cone 4. I was going for cone 5. Look at this. I would say perfect. Very nice. Cone 5 indeed. No worries. I'm sure my glaze is perfect. So that's my top one, and I didn't grab my marker, so I'll just have to keep this separate to make sure I don't confuse myself because this is my top one. I like to write the date and top on it so that I don't mix it up with the bottom, so I can compare the two. All right, kiln opening. Yeah, I know, it's very exciting. So we'll just start with these plates. This is my lake blue, and I did a quick dip, and when I did it, I knew I was gonna have a little drippies happening. I kind of like that diagonal effect. The pattern is my townscape design. You can see the buildings in there. I wanted to test my lake blue on texture. It does work. You can use it on textured pieces. I do feel like you have to go thin with it. Just keep that in mind. But I can still see it. It's a little more subtle. So it's okay to shut the kiln off during cool down, Barbara asks. So Barbara, the kiln is off. So when my kiln hits top temperature, when it gets to the tippy top, the kiln shuts itself down. It shuts off. It's done. It's fired. I turn the vent off, the fan, you know, that some people call it, but it's a vent. I turn that off and I leave it be. So you don't have to turn your kiln off. It's already off. There should be.
I wonder if she means the controller as well.
The box here, the Compu controller box, you don't turn that. I leave that on. I leave it on so I can watch the temperature cool down on my app, so I can see where it is. If you are doing a firing that has a slow cool built in, like a firing down, you have to let it finish its cycle. And my kiln says complete. If your kiln says complete, you can turn everything off. Hope that helps. Hope that answers that question. Like nighttime in the city. Yes, exactly. So you don't understand the offset thing. Sal, did you watch my class on ClayShare? It's setting a cone offset. I explain it in that clearly. The thing is when you get a kiln, sometimes the kiln itself fires too hot. It's just the way everything's programmed. It's like ovens in your house. Some people's ovens bake hotter, right? My kiln fires about 35 degrees too hot. That's fine if you don't mind a very hot cone 5, cone 6, really cone 6, truly. I don't want cone 6, I want a nice 5. So I did a cone offset where I actually fool the kiln into thinking it's actually hitting the temperature it is. But well, it just subtracts. So it's a really great thing to do if you're having issues with your kiln being too hot. All right, the next plate is one that I did brushing on my chun. I wanted to see how my chun, one coat brushed on. So this is a test piece, and one coat is all right, but do you see it's a little uneven? So I did this for a bunch of people because everybody's asking, can you brush on my chun? That's not the brushable formula, the dippable formula. This is what you get. And I did this to show you all, if you're gonna brush it on, you're better using the brush version, but if you're gonna brush it on, you'll want 2 coats. I'm gonna put a second coat on this and refire it. But that's the cloud template with snowflakes, and I think you can see on there how cute that is, despite the fact the glaze is a little uneven. Yeah. Moving to the app because YouTube's being laggy. All right, wherever you gotta go, go there. Go, you do what you got to do. I'm gonna pull this out. So I was glazing since Wednesday. I glazed Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to get this done. Oh, that came out very sweet. Little fun thing. I'll be putting a quick little quickie tutorial up about this platter. I'm going to show you in a second, but you can't see it yet because I'm not going to let you, unless Kevin's already given it away. Let's do this little plate. So here's a little pressed plate I made using my Townscape rolling pin. That's this pattern. I put red iron oxide that I just added water to. I thinned it down till it's the consistency of ink. And then I brushed it just on the buildings. Just on the buildings. And then I wiped back a bit of it. See, I'm just showing you so you can see that texture and the way that looks. And then I dipped it in my Oribe, which is this beautiful translucent grass green. You can see the back, that beautiful green. And then I put a little rim of it. So that's looks good, right? That looks good. So it's a good way to use my, it's not Townscape, it's Jess's Town. I've been calling it Townscape since last September when I started working on it, but it's Jess's Town is the rolling pin, and you get it from Sharon Hoppy Designs. Sorry about that, everybody. I have to keep track of my own town. So cute though. Look at the little buildings in there. All right, so I love it with the iron oxide. It really highlights it. We have a bunch more pieces with that in the kiln, so we'll be sharing that. A little candle stick right here. These are called, they're called candlesticks, candle holders, candlestick holders. And this is a class as well, so if you're a ClayShare member and you haven't done one of these, check this out, you will love it. This is with my Oribe and the iron oxide on the rim as well. So it's just a nice, very traditional, if you like green. The texture is my vintage geometric, which is a nice mid-century modern texture. You love it. You love the Oribe with the oxide, yes. The Oribe with the red iron oxide is gorgeous. I got more to show you. This is a Japanese maple leaf. I bet you thought it was something else, but it's not. It's a Japanese maple leaf from my Japanese maple tree. We made this autumn, and it has been sitting on a shelf waiting to go in the kiln. And here it is. This is with the carmine new Speedball underglaze. That's the red color. And then my Chun blue dipped over it. So you can kind of see some of the blue affecting the surface. And that makes it look a little bit of a purple. It's cute. So, Japanese maple leaf though, folks. Looks a little bit like some other stuff, but it's not. All right, we got a mug. Oribe. Oh my gosh, the Oribe is so good. Does it look as good to you as it looks as good to me? Is it? Says the bottom. So this is my sweater weather rolling pin, and then my Oribe red iron oxide on the inside just a bit, on the rim right there, and then on the handle. Look at that. How yummy of a sweater mug is this? Beautiful, right? You can get my Oribe from Clayscapes Pottery. So if you want to make this glaze, you can do it. If you're using my Oribe and you're not getting this color, you either have it too thin or too thick. This is the perfect way it should look. So this is your color test for this glaze. This is how it should be. It's magnificent. It's one of my favorite combos. And then I did one, we did a, Diana is in Lake Winnipesaukee over Moultonburg, New Hampshire. Hi, Diana. Welcome in. Same glaze combo, except we made buttons, and this is the soup mug. We did this in a broadcast just for premium members. That was the live tutorial we did just for you all, and so you guys can watch this if you want to go make your very own soup mug. So it's a little bigger than our sweater mug. As in, well, it's bigger, it will hold a little bit more, but it's wider, shorter and wider. So it's more a soup mug. But some of you out there might like this for a coffee mug. Like this shape might be your thing instead of the regular shape we use. You like the Carmine? Yeah, that's just an underglaze from Speedball when they introduced all those new ones this past spring. Again, red iron oxide on the buttons. These buttons are from Marvelous Molds. They sell the silicone mold, and you press the clay in it and you make the shape, and then you attach it. Red iron oxide, handle, buttons. A little bit on the inside, you can kind of see that. It's cute. You like the buttons that way? I do too. It makes them look like leather. That's the whole point. You're trying to make your buttons look like leather. And it's just red iron oxide with a bit of water, brushed on. That's it. Super easy. Mug topper or lid, right? Just the top. It's actually not for one of those mugs. It's for a mug further down in the kiln. So you know there's some other mugs in the kiln now. This was very fun. This was me having a really good time with a doily that I pressed in the clay. Made this platter, cute little platter. I wanted it very bright, very springy, and they are, it could be dogwood or it could be cherry blossom. And it's hard to see the detail. I don't know if you can see, the blossoms come out to here. And I did yellow, I did pink, and then soft pink. And then I did frost blue. These are all Speedball colors. Frost blue, and then leaf green, and then more yellow. And then I wiped it all away. And I'll put a little time-lapse video up of this Tuesday, I think. I'll put that up so you can see it. So Jay wants to know why all their hand-built mugs never come close to being concentric as the ones you make. Jay, are you following my tutorial where I use a rounder? Also, I have been making pots for 20 years. I always tell people, please don't look at mine and think that yours are not as good. They're fabulous. You just gotta keep going and you'll get there. I bet they're awesome. I bet they are. So this was a fun little platter. Spring's still a ways off, but I wanted a little spring in my life, so I did this cute little platter. All right. That's the top layer. Woo! I don't know if we've ever gotten through a top layer that fast.
That was pretty fast.
It was fast. It was really fast. And I broke one of my really good kiln shelves when I was loading the kiln. You know, kiln shelves are kind of pricey, and it's really sad when you break the whole thing, and it was a brand new one. I'd only used it like once. And I was setting it down, and it just kept, I knocked it over, and it ploop, and broke. And I was sad. But it's okay, because I know where to get more. It's just, I had to improvise for this firing. Oh, that came out good. Okay, lots of mugs on this shelf here. Come on, we're gonna do this first though. Lots of mugs, but you can't see them yet. No, maybe we'll do the mugs first.
And I turned off the picture-in-picture, so it's more of a surprise with each piece now.
Oh, I see. Okay, we'll do this, Okay, so these right here, more candlestick holders. I used my cobblestone with my lake blue, and let me just show you up close so you can see the texture is beautiful. That blue goes so nicely with the gray. I'm going to put these on the dining room table in my new house because my new house is blue. So there's the bottoms. So you get a good look at these. So can you use the oxide unglazed on the bottom stop line white? So you know, the thing is, it can stick to shelves, so you can put it near the bottom, but if you put red iron oxide, or really any oxide, because they do flux melt, right? That's what flux means. When you put it on the bottom there, and that's touching your kiln shelf, it could stick to your kiln shelf if it's full strength. If you wipe it back and use it more as a stain, you might be fine. But again, make sure you kiln wash your shelves really well too. That makes a difference. How did I break the advancer shelf? Terry, I do not own a single advancer shelf.
One of our members.
Oh, one of our members did.
Yeah.
Who did that? They're very brittle. Yeah. So anyhow, here's a little set of candlesticks with that lake blue on top of the cobblestone. And if you have those two together, cobblestone's great on texture. Put a little lake blue on top if you like blues and grays, and you'll get this really fabulous result. All right, now we'll do the plate. So here's a plate. We did this in a live broadcast. We made this together. It was using underglaze transfers to make pressed dishes, I believe, was what we called that class. This is my Jungle Leaves underglaze decal from Sambao. You can go ahead and get that. And then just black speedball underglaze on the rim. Clear glaze on top. I actually used Amico's Mixing Clear for this. And it came out, I'm pretty happy with it. It came out peachy keen. So Amico's Mixing Clear, if you go too heavy with it, be careful because it can bubble, cause your underglaze to bubble a little bit. And so I don't know if you can see that. It sort of blends in, but I got a tiny little bubbling. This is not my normal clear. I usually use my 2167 clear that I make in the studio. But last time I put glazes away, I put the lid to cobblestone on my clear. Just so you know, if you do that, what happens if any glaze was on the lid and it falls down in, you've contaminated a whole bucket of clear. I did that. So I have a whole bucket of clear I cannot use. I can add some colorants to it and make a brand new fun glaze, but it won't be clear glaze. So that's why I use the Amico. And I use Amico a lot. There's nothing wrong with Amico, but it can sometimes eat away at underglazes. This is the new class. I don't know if I want to show it to you yet. You're just gonna have to hold your horses. Okay, another sweater mug. This time I used my Chun Blue with my Spearmint and Clayscapes Cream. Oh, look how yummy that is. That's a nice winter mug. My premium members will be talking about winter, you know, the Clay Share Challenge. We'll talk about this more then. I think tomorrow morning in Good Morning Clay Share, we'll talk about that. I did 2 sweater mugs, mind you. Cuties, right? Cute little Chun mugs. Love them. And yeah. Mug topper, right there. Keep stuff out of your mug. Or keep your beverage warm. All right, trying to keep up. Beach house mugs, exactly. And here's another one, except this one is with my Jess's Town rolling pin. I'm going to show it really close so you can see, and I'll turn it. You can really see the texture. You can really see the town in there. Same thing, chun blue outside and on the inside. Spearmint dipped to here, and then cream on the rim. I just turn it over and I just kiss the top of your bucket of glaze with it. Just a, that's it. Just a, that's all with the cream. That's all you do. Just kiss it. And it, exactly. And that's all you do. But you get this lovely frosting effect here from the spearmint and the chun coming together. And then the cream just melts it a little more and changes it just a tiny bit. So it's good. More beach house mugs, right? It just keeps just keeps happening. The beach house thing is well, it's a thing, right? And then I wanted to do a yellow mug with my Jess's Town rolling pin, but I wanted to put some snowy into it, so I used the Mako Flux. So this is Mako Frosted Lemon glaze, 2 coats, inside and out, and then Mako Light Flux, the entire handle, on the rim, 2 coats, and on the inside. Look at how melty. It's like marshmallow, right? And then you can still see, I'm going to show the folks in Instagram, you can still see the texture. Try to get the light to not be too glaring, but it's more subtle. Like when you're holding it in person, you really see it. It doesn't stand out like a different color would. Will my chun run if thick? Any glaze, if you fire it too hot or put it on too thick, can run. My chun, this is 1 coat dipped. 1 coat dip. It didn't run an iota. Not even, if you look at the edge here, not even a smidgen. At cone 5, nice, beautiful blue. And by the way, this is B-Mix. If you want this blue, if you're not getting this blue with your chun might be too thin. It needs to be, it's a glaze that likes to be thicker than normal. You might think it's too thick, so it's definitely a glaze that you'll have to do some tests with, but this is how it should be turning out for you on B-Mix. You should be getting this blue. Now if you thin it down, it'll go greener and lighter, just so you know. So it's entirely up to you what you want for a finish. Sometimes I thin my chun way down and use it as a clear with just a hint of blue-green to it. But a nice happy little yellow mug there. Yeah, it's just a sweet, just a happy sweet mug. It's the kind of thing that just puts a smile on your face, right? And then this plate, I don't know if we're going to talk about very much because this is the class that's coming out this week. I'm going to teach you how to make this exact plate. This is my mandala class that's coming out. We're going to do this. I'm going to warn you, it took about an hour to decorate. Was it an hour? You did the editing. Maybe it's like 40 minutes. But it's amazing, and you're gonna love it. And we do a couple other smaller pieces which are in the kiln too. So that'll be, I think because we are closing on our new home on Tuesday, the class will be Thursday this week. It was gonna be Tuesday, but I just don't think I can get it done. The editing, it's in post-production right now. So we'll see, but that is amazing. So any suggestions on how to learn about your kiln? Well, you know what? I have quite a few classes on Clayshare all about kilns. If you go to Kilns and Firing, you'll see there's a lot there. And I talk about different kilns. You know, I have L&L kilns. I've had a Scott kiln in the past. It just depends. Most electric kilns are very similar to each other.
Hey, could you explain a little bit about chun glazes in general? We had some questions about what they are.
So, well, a chun glaze is an ancient Chinese glaze from the Song Dynasty. You know, you're looking at a glaze that is a translucent in nature glaze. It is said to be, by the Emperor of China, the color of the summer sky after a rain. So that's what a chun glaze should be. The color of the summer sky after a rain. Right? And it also came about because they were looking for something that would mimic jade. That was really what the Chinese potters were looking for, and that's where it came from. So it's a very ancient glaze. Over the centuries, has been adopted and adapted. Really, it's a glaze that would be traditionally iron bearing, and it would turn blue because of what was in the clay that was used, not because of the glaze. Nowadays, we have chun glazes, which We call them chuns. This one's based, my recipe is something I did when I was an undergrad student. I did an honors research project where I researched ancient Chinese glazes. I worked with a geology professor. We used a spectrometer. We looked at fragments of actual ancient Chinese pottery to try to come up with a chemical formulation to make the glaze. I started making this glaze then and started refining it. So my glaze is very different than a lot of other glazes out there, but there are a lot of people doing chuns, and I believe they all start in a similar place. We're all very inspired by those ancient glazes. So a chun glaze should have a translucent quality, right? It's a microcrystalline structure, which means if you look at it, sometimes you'll see it has a little bit of crystallization happening on it. It can opalize. That's the microcrystalline structure. When you put it over a color like a burgundy or a brown, it can turn into that opal effect. You get this refractory effect where it goes purples and burgundies and bright blues all in one. So it's really an amazing glaze. When you see it by itself like this, it's just like this beautiful robin's egg blue. But when you put it on top of black or put it on top of a brown or, like I said, burgundy, it can shine like crazy. It goes so good. Now, this is formulated for cone 5, cone 6 electric kilns. And they have, other people are doing chuns that might be for gas kilns and higher fire. So it just depends how you formulate the glaze. But this one right here is my signature glaze. Like, this is something I've been using for almost 20 years now. And it took me a while to get it dialed down to where it was a good, stable glaze. And I was super excited when Clayscapes announced they were going to start carrying and selling my Chun Blue 2 years ago now, and get it out there for you all to use. And it is food safe, completely safe, nothing that is going to hurt you. And it's gorgeous. So this on B-Mix, lovely. Also, amazing on porcelain. Better on porcelain than B-Mix, as a matter of fact. Hard to imagine, but it is. So I hope that explains. We have all these different categories of glazes now. We have chuns, we have temakus, we have celadons. It just really depends, and a lot of companies just use that as a category now to explain properties of glazes. Like Chinos. Like, there's a line of Chino glazes, which none of them are really true Chino glazes, but they look similar to true Chino glazes, so they get called that. Same thing with the Celadon line. A Celadon glaze, which is really a Lung Xuan, is the traditional glaze, is also another Chinese glaze, and it would be more of an olive color. Sometimes Celadons would go towards jade too. Again, that search for replicating jade, which was so precious, is what they were after. And so the Celadons are Lung Xuan, which is the correct name for Celadon glazes, for ancient historical glazes, and the Chun glazes both came out of that. So, all right, back to Professor Jess is gonna. I did teach college ceramics. I do have my graduate degree. It sometimes comes out. I try not to, but if you ask me very technical questions, I put my professor hat on, and I will lecture you for hours about stuff. We don't need to do that. So this right here was a test piece. We did the Mako Lavender Mist 2 coats with the dark flux. Oh, that's very nice.
That is nice.
Isn't that sweet? I love the mottled look. Like, we have some text, like change in color. It's not this flat, not that there's anything wrong with a flat, smooth surface, but it has some more depth besides the texture from the rolling pin. So can I brush on the Chun glaze or only dip, Wendy? My Chun comes in brushable and dippable from Clayscapes. If you order it from them, you can get either or. 1 coat of lavender mist on the back. 1 coat of lavender mist is going to give you a kind of sepia brown tone color with little purple undertones. 2 coats gives you this. It's really nice on texture at 2 coats. 3 coats, you lose it, just so you know. Ancient Chinese secret, I see Michelle said. Yeah, I love Chinese. I love Chinese glazes. Ancient Chinese glazes in me. Yeah, woof. I have books on them. I have a ton of, I love it.
You have bookshelves.
I have bookshelves on books about them because I love them so much. It's a thing. All right, so we did this in a private broadcast for premium members. We did this together. Do you guys remember? Do you remember doing this, sweet boy, with me? We did this lovely rooster plate. I don't know if you guys remember. So these are all stroking coats, right? We used all Mako stroking coats. We applied them to the surface. We wiped back the excess, right? And then I put clear on top. I believe I used the Mako mixing, the Amico mixing clear on this. I'm pretty sure. I'll have to go. I have to actually go rewatch the class to remember. It could be my clear 2167, but this is Mako's Jaded. This is Cottontail. This is their black, which I think is Tuxedo. The yellow that they do. It's just the basic colors that they sell, and it came out super cute. Vanessa likes the technical stuff. I do too. I've always loved that part of ceramics. When I started, I couldn't get enough, but I nerd out to those things. Chemistry is always fun. Exactly. So yes, this is a doily. This was a lace doily that I pressed into clay, and we then made a plate using GR pottery forms. So that's what we have. Look at this sweet plate. Isn't that nice? You could hang it on a wall. You could just, stand it in a cupboard. You could sit it on your table. Either way, sweet little rooster. And then my signature on the back. You can see that? Voila. So this was made because it's going in the new house. That's the plan. That's my plan. I'm going to put it in the new house. There's a few things in the new house in the kiln because we close on Tuesday. Oh, did I say that yet?
No, not yet.
Wait, we close on Tuesday. Oh, wait, did you know? No, okay. It's going to get annoying if I keep doing that. Yeah, and that's one of the motivations for me getting this kiln fired is because there are pieces in here that I wanted for the house because we close on Tuesday. Tomorrow morning, all of my awesome premium members are going to hear about it because we're going to talk about the walkthrough that happened today and talk about the closing and the moving schedule. Oh, there's some yummy stuff. Oh, where to start? Wow, let's just start with some more of the mandala pieces. So the new class this week, which will be the mandala class. Here's a couple test pieces. We do these in the class, so you're gonna see them here first. But this class will be out just for premium members on Thursday. I love how that came out. Nice. So mixing clear on V-Mix, you get crazing, Linda. Mixing clear, if it's too thick, has been difficult for me too. Have you tried Georgie's zinc-free clear? That's a really good one. You can also make your own. I have a recipe on ClayShare Resources for my 2167. Does not craze on B-Mix. If you use B-Mix with grog though, that's a whole different thing. So just keep that in mind. When you're mixing your glazes, you know, if they're too thick, sometimes they will crawl or they can, cause crazing too. It's that fun chemistry. Fun pottery chemistry. That came out so good. Oh, there's something in here that's amazing. And I have to thank you all. It was a choose the glaze that you guys chose for me. All right, we did this on last week's private broadcast. Mako Cobalt wash on the entire plate and then wiped back. And then Amico Lavender Celadon. So look what this did. The cobalt stayed in the buildings, right? The cobalt stayed in the buildings, and then the lavender's everywhere else. It looks amazing in person. If you're a purple-blue person, you're gonna love this. Have I used Speedball Clear? Yes, Jackie, and it works fabulously. I've had no problems with Speedball Clear on Speedball's underglazes. None at all. Hey, will you check the chickens?
Yeah.
We're having a lot of chicken noise happening right out behind me, and that might just be regular chicken business, or there could be a fox, which happens. or a hawk, which also happens. So that's something. Maybe they're just excited over this plate, right? Do you think maybe it's just this plate that's got them all excited? That's what I think it could be too. So again, Laguna Bee mix and 3 coats of the lavender celadon, brushed on.
They really want to tell you about this fantastic egg.
Is that right?
Yeah.
The chickens want to tell me about the fantastic egg. All right, well, I'm going to put this back. We're running out of room here, so. All right, so now we're getting into the really good pieces. One of my all-time favorite not made by me glazes, Amico's Aqua Celadon with lustrous jade on the rim. If you've not tried this combo yet, please do it. You will thank me for it. Aqua Celadon 3 coats on the front, 2 coats on the back. Lustrous jade on the rim. Look at that, 2 coats on the rim. Let me just bring it in really close. You need to see, look at this. Look at this where they come together. It's so yummy. It's so good. It's just, it's great. It's really good. The black underglaze plate again.
Can you get to it? It's kind of big.
You mean the leaf one? The one with the leaves on it? It's right here.
Okay,
I can grab it. God, I love that one. That came out so good. Yeah, right here. There it is. And so this is the one that I used my underglaze decal, Speedball underglaze on the rim, but Amico mixing clear for my clear, and it did a little pulling. And whether that's because it's a Speedball underglaze and Amico's glaze, I can't say for sure. Could it be that the glaze was too thick? That could be it. I usually don't use the Amico mixing clear on my underglazes or on Speedball, but on my underglaze decals. I usually use my own, but hopefully that gives you what you need. So Amico's zinc-free clear works better than the mixing clear. Thanks, Patty. So what happens to 2167 on B-Mix with grog? It can craze. It can. My intern was using it on a whole series of pieces she made, and it crazed. Yeah, but it doesn't always. So I don't know if it was her firing or what, because that can affect it too. This plate, this is a super exciting piece. Again, Jess's Town rolling pin. So I made a whole bunch of these plates using my cloud template and my Jess's Town rolling pin. And then we glazed them together, and you guys picked, I used Amico Deep Sea Celadon 3 coats. There it is on the back. Only 1 coat of the Celadon here in the center because I didn't want to obscure my signature. 2 coats here because it's the back. I didn't want to use 3 coats of glaze. Save the extra coat for the front. 3 coats on the front. Then on the rim, we put Light Flux from Mako. It did this. Light Flux from Mako. And if you want to see that in your premium member, go check that video out and you can actually see this get glazed. It was near the, I think the end maybe, but it's pretty spectacular. I like it. So you've used Amico Aqua and with lustrous jade, and it's very pretty. Yeah, Linda, I love it too. You know, I usually do our family dishes and everybody picks out the glaze, that combo they like. And that's usually the one I do. If I'm not using a Chun combo, that's the one I go to. But how sweet is this? Love it. I love it. So that deep sea is beautiful. And that flux, look what the flux did on the rim. Look what's happening. It's like confetti looking, but it's smooth. It's not bubbly at all. It's smooth. So although it looks speckly, it's not. Nice, right? Deep Sea Celadon. It's a new glaze that you have to try, Jackie. Yeah, if you like a dark blue, you will like Deep Sea Celadon. I also like it with seaweed on top. So this goes more in the purple mauve realm. If you put seaweed on it, it is more the green, lighter greens, like you expect seaweed to be. It's really pretty. Really pretty. Stacy says the chickens hear my voice and want my attention. Yeah.
They really wanted to tell you about a
They do.
fantastic egg.
They, my chickens will let me know when they want to talk to me. They give me the business. So there's only one more piece in the kiln. I know, usually the kiln openings are, oh, it's good. I never know. You know how it goes, right? Kiln openings, they can be Halloween or Christmas. We talk about this all the time. And you know, it's funny because in years past I used glazes that were very predictable and you kind of knew what everything's going to look like. Nowadays, I'm really into experimentation and trying out different products and different surface techniques, so you never really know what's going to happen. But before I'm going to show you what's in here, we have to look at the cone pack because you got to pay to play. That's what they say, at least. And here is our cone pack from the top. Here's our cone pack from the bottom. What do we want to see here? We want to see an even firing from our top to our bottom, and I would say that is a resounding, oh yes, it's even. So what I always look for in my firing, and with this kiln in particular, is I want to make sure whatever I'm firing on the bottom shelf is going to melt the same as whatever I'm firing on the top. That means if I use chun on a mug and I put it on the bottom shelf, and I use chun on a mug and I put it on the top shelf, they'll look exactly the same because they'll have fired to the same temperature. Now, a lot of kilns out there have difficulties being even. I had a scut kiln for a decade, never got that thing even. It was always colder on the bottom by at least half a cone, always. With a vent, without a vent, didn't matter what I did, didn't matter if I put a hold on it or what, I could never get that scut kiln to fire as even as this L&L kiln. I just learned how to work with that kiln, but I have to say it's really nice to have a kiln that comes out exactly how I want it every time, and my results are perfect every time. To be fair, and if you're just starting, it does take a while to get to the point where you're going to get these results. As I like to remind people, I've been doing this for a very long time, and I do this all the time. I've been doing this every day, all day, for 20 years. So it makes a difference when all you do is eat, sleep, drink, think pottery and ceramics and everything to do with it. It changes things. But yay, firing! Okay, last piece in the kiln. It will be a new class in 2nd of February, I believe. That week, okay? We're just gonna say right now because I've already got the rest of January booked with classes, but this is when I'll be teaching you all. It's a hand building classes. If you wanna make giant bowls, which you wanna make giant bowls, right? You do. I know you do. I'm gonna teach you. Giant bowl. Here it is. This is the bowl. Ah, look at that. Here's the back. Here's the side. It's big. It's pretty big. That's pretty much what we'll say about it. So we're gonna make one of these big giant bowls. Almost didn't fit in my kiln. You love, 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 love your L&L, Beth. Yeah, I love mine too. When I knew I was going to get a new kiln, I did a lot of research. Nothing against Scut, because I had a Scut for many years, but I went with L&L for personal reasons, right? And it's just like buying a car. You buy the one you like the best. So, and my first kiln was a 30-year-old secondhand L&L manual kiln, my first electric kiln. And it just you know, it just takes practice. So this right here, you have to excuse, this one's a little faded. I didn't press in hard enough on the texture. It was a doily that I used to get this texture here. But look at that, Georgie's Indigo interactive pigment for the color. Let me bring you in close so you can see those little roosters. Look at them. So that's Georgie's Indigo interactive pigment brushed on, wiped back, and then Georgie's Super Clear on the entire surface. So where do you get my, okay, so the Cityscape rolling pin, it's actually called Jess's Town. We changed the name. And you get that from SharonHoppyDesigns.com. That's where you can get it. But we're gonna make this fabulous bowl. And yeah, L&L does have great technical support. And I'll show you how to glaze it exactly. Actually, I glazed this one in the class because I already filmed it. Because that's how I roll. But look how big it is. You can hug your own pottery. Maybe put it on your head as a fancy hat. Oh, that would be a fancy hat. All right. So you just got into the Facebook group and you want to say you're so happy to be part of it. I'm glad you're part of it too, and I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yes. So you wish you'd known about the L&L before you bought your Scut. Scut's good, Rachel. Scut's a good company. Nothing bad about Scut. For whatever reason, I could never get my Scut to fire as even, but for, I don't know, for, let's see, how many years? I've had this one a year and a half now, and I had a Scut until I got this one, and I've been here 15 years. So for 13 and a half years, I fired a Scut, and I had great results. I never had a complaint. I just got annoyed with the fact that the bottom was always half a cone cooler. But other than that, really it was fine. It really, really was fine. So this is a huge plate or platter, and we will make it together in a couple weeks. And until then, it's going on my new dining room table along with my candlesticks and a whole bunch of other things, because did I tell you I'm closing on my new house on Tuesday? All right, so there you go. I'm going to glaze the giant bowl in the class. Yeah, Kathy, it's already filmed. The glazing class is already filmed for the giant bowl. It's done. It's this one. I show you exactly how to put on the pigment, wipe it back, glaze it. I show you how to do your striping here. I show you how to do your rim here and here. I show you the brush technique for getting this, because that's a little tricky sometimes. But we do this all together. It's already filmed, so, and that'll be out September 2nd, I think, is what we're doing. All right, so there is the kiln opening. Lots of great stuff. The mandala class will be out this week, probably Thursday. Tomorrow we have Good Morning Clay Share for my premium members. 9 a.m. folks, we'll be getting up bright and early. And we'll tell you all about today's walkthrough and the exciting news. Wednesday, we have a special live broadcast at 5 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have Adam Field joining us. Remember, Adam has a workshop premiering live. It's a live workshop this next Saturday, the 16th, from 1 to 4. Now, he's going to be doing the workshop live for 3 hours. Afterwards, it'll be available as a replay forever. But it's a two-parter. So it's 3 hours this Saturday, 3 hours next Saturday, so the 16th and the 23rd. So you get 6 hours. It happens live, but it's recorded, so you get to access it forever when you sign up. If you're a premium member, be sure to use that discount code and save. And if you don't have that, you know, check out the email that we sent you all out yesterday, which will have that in it. Premium members, you would have gotten that. And then during prime time, the private broadcast for premium members, we are going to be having our mid-month check-in for the January Clay Share Challenge. See how y'all are doing and what you're up to and what's working, what's not working, and where you're gonna go for the rest of the month. So that's what we got going down. Lots of good stuff. And yeah, so if you wanna get a heads up on this class here, and you're a premium member and you're like, well, I wanna make that, you wanna be ready to go when it airs, go ahead and watch my making a mold from a wok class and make yourself a drape mold or hump mold from a wok. Have that ready to go, because we use that to make this big bowl. You know it. All right, everybody, so February on class, Sharon. I might have missed what you were asking, so ask it again before I go, so I can. That will be a February. This will be a February class. Yes, this will be February. This is coming in February. Mandala is this week, and then 2 surface decoration classes, and then we're in February. That's how fast. All right, everybody. You all take care. Have a fabulous Sunday. Check out the Great Pottery Throwdown tonight on HBO Max. If you have HBO Max, if Lee is on there, Lee Pollard, root for him because he's a ClayShare member. He's one of my students, one of our ClayShare community, and we're super proud and excited for Lee to be on the Great Pottery Throwdown, so check that out. Check out Adam Field's workshop. Go to clayshare.com to sign up so you can be a part of that. You won't want to miss that. And if you haven't subscribed to ClayShare yet, go ahead and do so, because we have a 7-day free trial. You can make a lot of pots in 7 days. I promise. All right, everybody, take care, and I will see you later. Bye, everyone.